Guys, and welcome back to Credit Kids. So today I'm going to be reviewing Christmas Chronicles number 2. So if you have not seen Christmas Chronicles number 1, go to Netflix and watch it right now. But if you don't have a Netflix subscription, go and get one and then watch Christmas Chronicles number 1, then come back, watch this review, and then go watch Christmas Chronicles number 2. So now let's get into the review. So Kate Pierce is now a teenager, and her brother and herself are upset because their mom is now dating, and so they don't like their mom's boyfriend, and it makes Kate even madder because her mom's boyfriend has a son and he's very annoying. And so then Bob, her mom's boyfriend, he gave them a bunch of passes to a bunch of places. And Kate and Bob's son, Jack, they got passes to the kids club, which is very iconic because the movies kids club are always like, oh, it's the worst place ever. I mean, it probably is, but I've never been to kids club myself. So then Kate wants to go back to Boston, where they're from. And so then she's packing up her stuff, and it's the day they go to the kids club. So she told Jack that she would meet him in the kids club, but she had to go to the bathroom first. And so then she just packed her stuff up, and she was waiting for a shuttle to take to the airport. And then there's this guy who picks him up in a golf cart. And so then Jack sneaks up and goes onto the golf cart with her, but like in the very far back. And then he like scares her halfway through the ride. And then the guy who's driving swung the golf cart and said, have a nice trip. And there's like this wormhole. And then they fell into it, and then they got taken to this very, very cold place, aka the North Pole. And so that's where they almost died and froze to death. And then Santa, who's chasing this like giant tiger cat thing, I don't really know what it is. And then he heard screams, and so he saw them, and then he went to pick them up and put them in this like so soft blanket. I was like, oh my gosh, I want that blanket so bad. And then they took them back to the North Pole village, and there they got warmed up, and Mrs. Claus, also known as Goldie Hawn, gave them hot chocolate to warm them up, and like their faces were like frozen, and then they got warmed up by hot chocolate. I don't know. It was magic. Like there was magic stuff in there, so I mean it probably works. And then they take them on a tour of the village, and like the village has 3,300 little shops, which is interesting. And then after that, they have this giant feast of like sugary stuff. But Mrs. Claus made it so everything looked and tasted like everything they hated. So literally, it was vegetables. So broccoli was now cake and jello. And carrots was chocolate cake? That's weird. And so then they went to bed that night, and Mrs. Claus read them a bedtime story. And it was about a bad elf who betrayed them, and he was planning on stealing the light that had a protective shield around the North Pole, so that nobody knew that the North Pole was there, like that Santa Claus was there at all. So then they went to bed that night, and then the next morning was like D-Day. It was like D-Day. And so, well, actually, before that night, the evil elf, he planted like this drone in the bedroom of where Jack and Kate were staying at Mr. and Mrs. Claus's house. And so then they the evil elf found out that they were staying there, so that was not good at all. And so the next day it was like D-Day, and because like they hurt one of the elf, or they hurt one of the reindeer, which was bad because that's just one less reindeer. And then Santa and Kate got transported into Boston of 1990, and then they all sung a song, and then Kate almost got arrested for being alone and using like the cashier lady. So they were trying to buy AAA batteries, and the lady thought that the $20 bill that Kate gave her was fake, but it was real. And so then the police officer got all mad at her, and then she told the police officer that she was alone because her parents let her fly alone. And so then he got taken. She took him, or no, he took her to a special area where kids who are alone stay. And while Kate was there, now this is a big spoiler, so if you have not seen Christmas Chronicles 1, please skip this part. So Kate met her dad. So if you have not seen Christmas Chronicles 1, Kate's dad died. So that was pretty sad. And then they went back to the North Pole, and Jack was getting the special root thing that was like one of the only things in the world. And so they had to. So, well, let me tell you why they had to get that. So the bad elf turned all the good elves into bad elves, which means they were like, it was kind of violent a little bit. They were using like chainsaws and stuff like that. But that was kind of, I don't really know about that part. They shouldn't use that in a kids movie. I don't think so. But then they got through, and Mrs. Claus made this special gingerbread cookie that if you threw it at something, it would explode. And then there's like this giant cat tiger that I was telling you guys about at the beginning, which got semi blown up by a gingerbread cookie. So yeah, that was funny. And then they took it back, and so Santa and Kate got a star that would power up the North Pole. So the evil elf destroyed it, and so then they got a new one and they put it back in, and then I'm not gonna tell you guys the rest of it because that would pretty much spoil the movie. But I really, really like this movie. I've seen Christmas Chronicles 1 like a gazillion times. So, I mean, I really like the Christmas Chronicles. But if you have seen the first one, you know Ted, the older brother, he is barely in this one. It's mostly just Kate and Jack. So, and Santa and Mrs. Claus. That's pretty much the people in it. So, I really like this movie, guys. If you have not seen it, go watch it right now once I'm done talking about this. So, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe because we need 1,000 subscribers and we're almost 1,000 views. So, thank you guys for viewing this. And please subscribe, like this video. Thank you guys for watching.